2 talks about compound interest. Okay, so a future value. And when we talk about value, we just mean the value that it's going to be in the future. Okay, so of course, when we borrow money, we owe more money in the future. Or when we invest money, we get more money back in the future. Okay, so compound interest is interest that is reinvested. This is the biggest difference between compound interest and simple interest. Okay, after the compounding period. So what happens is every single period, they take your interest and they throw it back onto your principal. So now your principal is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that means that the interest is also getting bigger. Okay, so let's take a look at this. A student borrows, so let's do principal equals $3,000 at an interest rate, and for compound interest, we actually call it I this time. So at an interest rate of 3.75% per year. Remember, every single time we have a percentage, we must convert it into a decimal so that we can work with it. And this is compounded annually. So this is easy. Annually is once a year. And we're going to take a look at equations and situations where it's more than once a year. They get a little bit more complicated, but not too bad. How much will the student own in 5 years? So what else do we have? We have A, and we need to figure that out. Oh, and 5 years. So N equals 5. So in this case, this N is number of compounding periods. So we only have one compounding period a year. So of course, 5 times 1 is just 5. Again, that's going to get a little bit more complicated, but we'll get there. Okay, so let's write out this equation. Okay, so we don't know our amount, but our principal is 3,000. And then 1 plus 0.0375 to the exponent 5. Okay, we must follow bedmass. I'll do every step here. Brackets first, 1.0375. Now we want to calculate this bracket raised to the exponent 5. 1.0375 to the exponent 5. Okay, I get 1.202. Okay, so what this actually means is over the course of the 5 years, they're making just over 20%. Okay, so let's multiply that by 3,000. They're going to get 3606. Let's round up to 30. Okay, so how much interest will they pay? Interest equals principal minus, amount minus principal. I always get those backwards. 3606.30 minus the 3,000. Well, that's easy. They're going to make $606.30. Okay, 606.30, and remember the dollar sign will be paid. Let's do example 2. How much will you have to pay back on a $2,000 loan? So immediately P equals 2,000, where interest is compounded semi-annually. So when we talk about semi-annually, we talk about 2 times per year. Okay, so the interest rate is 5%, and it's 6 years. Was it? No, it's N. N equals 6. And then we're going to find out the amount. How much will we have to pay back? Okay, so here's the thing. This 2 times a year, what this is going to do is it's going to split up that interest, because they're not going to pay you 5% twice a year. They're going to pay you 0.025, so 2.5%, but it's going to be 2 times a year. So in 6 years, there's not going to be 6 compounding periods. There's actually going to be 12. So we have to divide the interest and multiply the number of compounding periods, or the number of years, by the number of compounding periods per year. And then what happens is the formula gets a little bit more messy, but that's okay. Okay, so the principal is 2,000, and we're going to do 1 plus 0.025, so our new interest rate there, and then we're going to raise it to the exponent n. Okay, again, we have to do brackets first, 1.025, and then let's calculate 1.025 raised to the exponent 12. So in those 12 payouts, you're going to actually make approximately 34, almost 35%. Okay, I'm leaving these decimals, like the remaining decimals, in my calculator. So if ours is off by $1 or $2, that's going to be okay. It's just going to be rounding error. Okay, so at the end of the loan, the person has to pay back $26.89.28. Okay, or if you want to just calculate the interest, so the amount minus the principal, we're going to get $26.89.78 minus the $2,000 original. So $689.78. Okay, but the question says how much will you have to pay back? You must pay the entire amount, $26.89.78. And then where $689.78 is the amount of interest. Is the interest.